gay liberal Democrat who voted for Trump. Here's why. That's what we're here for. Yeah, I mean, I could not. There's no way I could have voted for Kamala. And I don't know. I mean, if you're like, why couldn't you vote for Camille? Well, I mean, there was the like sex changes for inmates thing. I remember her getting that question, and her response was a total like politician dodge type thing. And I was just like, wow, you are just the worst. You are just the worst. I couldn't vote for that person. Plus, like Donald Trump, like I went from being like, Donald Trump is a psychopath and a racist. Literally, I was thinking about when I worked at Circle K in 2021. Like one of my coworkers was pro-Trump. A customer came in and was pro-Trump, and they had a moment where they connected over being pro-Trump. And I didn't say anything, but my reaction to that very much was, yeah, he's the greatest president ever, fucking psychopath, racist. Like, that's literally what I thought. So, you know, the fact that I feel like talking about this, so I can fucking talk about it. The moment where I went from looking at Trump as just like, okay, I'm for Trump since he's the candidate, but I don't necessarily like him, to I actually like him, was in the debate, the Harris-Trump debate, when he, just like as an aside, said that Joe Biden hates Kamala Harris. And it made me laugh out loud. And I was like stressed watching the debate, because I was like, I really want it to go well. I really want like everyone to watch it and want to vote for Trump, you know? And I was like freaked out after, because and that sentiment was actually expressed by other people too. But that was kind of a huge tangent. It's a good thing I made notes though, right? So yeah, and I am gay. I am gay. Trust me. I do consider myself liberal still, even though I, voted for Trump. I don't know, I feel like I could have started like a political group, Liberals for Lake, because I also voted for Carrie Lake. Carrie Lake was the first Republican I ever voted for in my whole life. So, but to give you the full picture, which is what I wanted to do since before Charlie Kirk's death, and more so since, I wanted to try to give the complete picture of how I went from being not just a liberal, but a leftist, to someone who voted for Trump. I mean, and it's like, my aunt is still a leftist, I guess you could say. Voted for Harris, is very anti-Trump. Okay, so Dave Chappelle's special, The Closer, the controversy around Dave Chappelle's The Closer special. Man, I was gonna be in at Birkenstocks. I was out here in my Birkenstocks earlier when I was looking at all this. I meant to be, I know. Oh well, it's fine. So, controversy around Dave Chappelle's comedy special, The Closer. I was still a leftist at that time, 2021, it had the Streisand effect, the outrage and the, I mean, I guess they wanted Netflix to like pull it off the air, but I mean, that wasn't gonna happen. So, but it's like I hadn't seen any of Dave Chappelle's specials because the closer was just the last one. So I was like, I have to watch it. You know, if people are trying to cancel it, I mean, it must be really funny. Or failing that, I want to see what all the commotion was about. So I watched it, and I wound up actually crying when Dave Chappelle talked about his friend who committed suicide. It really like hit me out of nowhere, and for a second there, I was crying. But I mean, Dave Chappelle's special was just so good that like, it wasn't like overly upsetting. It was just like a sucker punch kind of. And it didn't really like, it didn't change anything really in terms of like, man, I was still a leftist. I was a leftist before I watched it, still a leftist. And anyway, like that wasn't the thing that made the change start to happen. But that was foundational. The thing that wound up being the thing that like the catalyst, I guess you could say, May of 2022, Bill Maher did an editorial segment on his show. The title of it is Along for the Pride. It's on YouTube, you can watch it. But, you know, I was just watching the Bill Maher show when I saw it, and that changed everything, I guess you could say. I mean, not that in and of itself, but I watched that, and the thing that, what did I call it in the notes? The shock twist. Shock twist. A trans doctor is quoted as saying that the trans movement as it exists today has gone too far. It's not like it's on a bad course. That was like, it's like, it was like the perfect thing to get a leftist's attention. So it's like, so, you know, I was like, well, I can't fight what I am. I have to become a social justice warrior of sorts. And like, I have to try to get to the bottom of this. I mean, the hubris, now that I think about it. But I was so like caught up in, you know, I felt like I had to, like I was called to help my trans brothers and sisters. It was like hard for me to say that. I'm going more into specifics than I thought I would, but that's cool. So, okay. So, like now that I think about it, it was in my capacity as a leftist, because I still was one. It was close to the point where but not quite. So it was actually in my capacity as a leftist that I said, like, I have to help the trans community. So I just like, but I didn't want to just, you know, say, okay, I'll believe whatever you want me to believe, and I'll espouse that when, like, no, like, that would be insane. No. Anyway, but I was like, you know, I'm gay. So the way I looked at it was like, it's weird to think back to that time and think about like how my brain worked, how my mind worked. But I'm just trying to explain what was motivating me to like spend all day like on Twitter, basically. I mean, that's what I was doing. Because I wanted to like see, I needed to understand what was going on, I guess. And I did kind of like I don't know, I guess you could call it a research fellowship. I mean, someone who went to college, who like really went to college, would probably actually call it that. But basically, I was just tooling around on my phone a lot. And at one point, there was a Kamala Harris post, and someone who was like clearly MAGA, said something that I would come to see a lot, but it seemed like a rational argument, and it was like, what rights don't trans people have? Because Kamala Harris's post was about trans people need their rights, something to that effect. And okay, so someone said, okay, so I mentioned that MAGA girl said, what rights don't trans people have? And what I would come to understand or come to know as a TRA, a trans rights advocate, activist, replied to the MAGA girl, and it was just a standard garden variety, like, they're trying to genocide us, or something to that effect. And I looked at that exchange, and I thought, I more see where the MAGA girl is coming from than this person who seems very like rabid. Just kind of seems that way. I'm not seeing evidence of it, it's just a vibe I'm getting. And anyway, but I wanted to engage and have like a positive outcome. But what wound up happening, because I won't go into exactly what my response was, but I do remember ending it with sincerely a gay guy. Something is basically it. Like I had to mention that I was gay, because I was like, by the way, I'm one of you. even though this person was clearly like a trans associated person, and I wasn't necessarily that, I was gay, but it's like, yeah, but those are like kind of the same camp. At least that was my thinking, that was my understanding up to that point in time. But, well, my understanding has evolved. But anyway, the transhumanist furry tweeted at me, sadly, most of you cis gays are transphobic. And I talked about the Bill Maher editorial thing, how like that was the catalyst that like started the change, but it was really that transhumanist furry saying, sadly, most of you cis gays are transphobic, to me, for like trying to be common sense oriented and just be like, there are anti-discrimination laws that protect trans people. So like, what rights are you saying that trans people need that they don't have? I'm really like, it really seems like a common sense thing. Like I can't be anti-common sense here, even though I'd like to, side with you instead of the MAGA girl. In a way, I feel like that might have been the moment that I stopped being a leftist, because it's like I had to take that hit. Right. And in the moment, I felt that I had to take that hit and there was nothing I could do. And so I took that hit, but then I was like, I'm done here. I'm done here. I think on just postulating, like, I think maybe that could be what was actually happening. But I talked about the quote from the trans doctor. That was the shock twist. In retrospect, and I said, like, in retrospect, it altered the course of my life dramatically. And in a way, you could say Bill Maher got me to vote for Trump. I mean, you could say that. It's kind of true. So there it is. The here's why is the trans stuff. But it's also so many other things. But I do feel like it's important. It's important. I just feel it's worth noting that, and I'm glad that I shared that story. It's a true story. The account that tweeted it at me wound up getting shut down for hate speech, I guess. Because I kind of got obsessed. So I kind of kept tabs on that account and a lot of others over time. I mean, it's been a long time. I completely overhauled my Twitter handle because I only wanted to see what the TERFs were talking about. I wanted to see all of it as much as I could, because I was like, I need to find the hate, I need to find the problem that they're saying, that the leftists are saying exists. I don't really find any of that though. And I mean, that's all my now X handle is. The other one is pretty much like that too. I have two. It's kind of nice. I have one that's public and one that's private. Because I mean, the one that's private has been suspended 2 or 3 times, I think. Maybe just twice. I can't remember. But one time it was for saying something that a trans person posted, and they didn't get suspended, but me saying it as as part of a response in a back and forth with another user constituted harassment. I think that might have been pre-Elon though. So, but anyway, I'm talking about my Twitter handles. I don't know what I'm doing with my Twitter handles. It's actually pretty much it though. I went way more into stuff than I thought I was going to. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I wasn't even gonna, for a whole moment earlier, I wasn't even gonna do this because I was like, oh no, I'll be too much trouble. But I rethought that. I feel like this was really, it's the first one, I wanted to go into stuff the way I did with this one. Well, the last thing I said was, there's so many other things, and I mean, I used to watch The View. I used to watch The Tonight Show with Stephen Colbert. In 2020, in 2020, I was watching what Stephen Colbert was doing, and it was huge for me. And then I continued watching it in 2021 when things were more normal. I wasn't living in a demon house. In 2020, things were weird. God, this was nice though. I did a test because I wanted to see if the mic on the headphones would be a good option. Because I was thinking about it, because I was going to do this video a whole different way. I was going to do it long instead of this way, because I thought I would be standing and so that like makes more sense. Be easier to, but my phone was quite low on battery when I decided to do this, so I realized I'd have to be charging my phone while doing this. And then I realized I can't really, I mean, maybe I could have, but it's not really, it would like stress the cord out to have my phone upright in the tripod that it's on. Because the thing is right there, there's not really room for a cord. But I did a test, and I mean, I turned the volume up, but it seemed like it was using the mic on here and not on there. Yeah, and it seemed like good audio quality, and like it was picking up my voice like perfectly. And the fact that it's noise canceling for me is great, because like the reverberation of my own voice in the room can be distracting. Maybe I should like try to do something for the thumbnail, like, because I like when I first had the concept for this video, I kind of thought of it as like a trollish kind of thing, but that was just to be the clickbaity aspect of it. But I wanted it to be real talk. I wanted to really like, I thought, you know, if a bunch of people did watch it, and among those people were people who are currently leftists, this might actually be really informative for them, and you know, it might help them. It was kind of my thought. But it had to be something where I was doing real talk. Like, because you know, if you're not speaking from the heart, people will pick up on that and not let your ideas into their head. I was thinking about that earlier when I was talking myself into doing this. I think it went perfectly, actually. This worked so well. I'm like surprised, but why should I be? Well, the first time was like basically a disaster. I did get like a funny frame from it, but like I'm so much healthier now than I was when I did the first video. Like I hadn't gotten things quite right. Like a really good place. I do so many things. So I have to stop doing this now. I guess I should do an outro. Now that I think about it. I've been outroing, but I haven't done like an actual outro. This has been a Benjamin Michael production. And thank you so much. If you watched it all, that's dope. So thank you again for watching. And I hope you have a great day. And I don't know, I think that's it. Like, I have like weird anxiety about like that outro. Is it good? Should I have told you that, like, please like my video and please subscribe to my channel? I don't care if you do that. No, I mean, I would care if you did do that. I would be like, whoa, cool. So there's that. Thank you, third time. I'm gonna end the video now, because it's been a pleasure all the way through to this point. Like it was, I'm pretty much from the start. I was like, I slipped right into it. But it was working for me, and so I just kept rolling with it. Yeah, it's been a breeze. And so we end here. Au revoir.